Welcome to the Kiki channel, and today I am going to talk to you about my decluttering wisdom, what I gained from the process. So I have to say this first. Oh, hey there. Hey, are you liking this video? Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe as well. Tell your friends and also ding that notification bell so you know every time I make a video. When you comment as well, it helps make my channel grow. And that's what we want, right? All right, thank you. Go back to the video now. Yes, I am someone who in the past has greatly struggled with being neat and tidy. I've collected things, collecting clothes. Clothes has always been my biggest problem. And then, of course, as a kid, toys. But whether it was toys or clothes, they would just be everywhere. And what would happen is that all that stuff would accumulate and I would get overwhelmed and pretty much shut down. And it's a thing that I did not know how to change. I did not know how to say, okay, well, let me clear this stuff out. I would just literally shut down. And usually what would make me clean is if someone was coming over, if sometimes I have forced myself to clean. As a kid, that was like the only thing I ever got in trouble for, not cleaning my room, which I always thought was silly, but whatever. I'm like, help me, there's a problem here. And what it was is that there is a very neat person somewhere deep within me, okay, who prefers everything to be very clean and streamlined, but then it's contending with the world of consumerism and accumulating items. And so when those two things meet, it's like too much. And so I shut down. So instead of trying to get rid of the stuff and clean up, I end up just allowing it to accumulate. And then I start to find little places for myself to exist in the mess. And the whole time I am not able to think clearly. I'm not able to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. And I'm not really happy. I'm not content. And it's not, happiness might be the word, but content, at peace. I'm not at peace. Like there's so much going on. All the stories of whatever I wore, when I was a kid, all the stories of whatever I created with these toys are all just swirling about and there's no peace. So I knew that. And I had a big project that I was working on, and my mess was getting in the way of me being able to tackle that project. My brain and my head was so congested with just all of the junk. And so I said, I have to do something different. So I went and tried the old kind of new, but kind of old at the same time. I mean, she's the Marie Kondo method. Not exactly, but yes, the main stuff I took away was the process of holding my items and thanking them and then seeing if they sparked joy. So I went through this whole process. And, and it's funny because when I was a kid, whenever it came time to clean up, what I would do was I would take all of my mess everywhere in my room and I'd put it in a pile in the center of the room. And then I would just work on that pile, until I got everything where it needed to be, which is why cleaning was so hard for me because I didn't know how to just put stuff away. In order for me to do everything, I had to create this gigantic pile, and it was like a mountain of stuff. And I remember, I feel like my mother thought I was crazy for this. Like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't cleaning your room. You're just moving stuff around. And, but I didn't have that other part. And that was, releasing things and seeing if certain things sparked joy. Now, and I'm like, if I had that, I think I would have overcame this problem a long time ago. But I have it now. So shout out to Marie Kondo for offering that, oh yeah, you gotta let go of stuff. You can't just hold on to everything. So that's what I did. I was able to see what sparked joy. Not a lot of things sparked joy. And I released a lot. In this process, here is what I learned. I learned that desire to hold on to things, even if you don't really like them, that is really kind of it's a poverty consciousness mindset. It's afraid of losing something because you think you can't get something new. And I know better than that, but I feel like this probably, like I said, I've been dealing with this since I was a kid. So that meant it could have been this idea of me just not knowing, me afraid of not having enough. And, when you're a kid, you have all kinds of fears of stuff. You're afraid to lose things. You're afraid to, I really treasured my space, meaning I liked having my own space. And I liked having enough stuff to keep me occupied. So as a kid, the idea of not having things to keep me occupied and away from all of humanity, because that was really my goal, was frightening. As an adult, I realized that I don't need things to keep me occupied. This brain of mine is wild, and I need to actually find a way to release all of it. And so because I think my desires have changed, I'm able to see that I'm holding on to this old childhood way of being, and it just wasn't working. I wasn't finding contentment through it. And, and so I liked that taught me that. I'm like, wow, you've been holding on to this and you learned it as a kid and you didn't know how to release it. Well, did it spark joy? No. So I had to release it. I also learned that when I do now go out to consume certain things, I learned and I started doing this before I even did this. I would go into a store and I'm like, nothing is really bringing me, I'm not excited for any of this stuff. And so I learned that I don't need all the stuff that I think I need, right? And that wealth is somewhere else, and it's not in my ability to acquire and accumulate things. Wealth is in my ability to appreciate what I have and then, of course, create something new from it. I feel like that to me is where true wealth is. And so I learned that. I'm like, and this is where it really kind of hit home. Welcome to the Kiki Scenes channel. Today, I want to give you new wishes. Oh, hey there. I sent you there. Are you enjoying your Kiki Scenes video? I sure am enjoying mine. You want to know where to support this channel? Support me via Patreon. There, you can be a sparkler, a shiny ash, or a Phoenician. The shiny ash tier actually gives you access into my private Facebook group where we do things to support our spiritual practice. All kinds of projects, we read books together, we share ideas together. If you want to be a part of that group, you can support me via Patreon and choose the shiny ash tier. If you want to take it to a whole other level, you can support me being a Phoenician. 3 months of continued support will give you a free session with me. And hey, if you're not quite ready for all that, you can be a sparkler. A sparkler really helps keep that fire going, and it helps start that shiny ash process. Hey, why don't you shine your ash over at Patreon and help support this channel so it can grow, I can eat, and I can keep on making good content for you all. All right. Hallelujah, holla magic. And you know what? Let me get back to my Kiki Scenes video and you get back to yours. Wizards and conscious people and woke people and I'm working on this big project, and it's a creative project, and I was frustrated with the outcome that I was getting. I'm like, something was missing. And then while I'm doing my decluttering, I had forgotten that I had gotten a artistic medium that was going to essentially add to that thing that was missing. Everything was so cluttered that in my clutter, I didn't see that element. So then I realized that I was hiding things from myself, hiding important things I can use. I was hiding aspects that could help my creativity. And this is on a physical realm and on a mental realm as well. So that decluttering process helped me see, wow, you have so many things to offer. You have so many gifts. You have so many things that you have, but you are cluttering with all this stuff that you're not able to see it. So me actually physically doing this decluttering method taught me a lot about, wow, letting go of stuff will tap you into your wealth. It'll tap you into your jewels. It's kind of like that, concept of, if you have tarnished silver, and if silver is tarnished enough, all you see is black. You may not see the value of it. It isn't until you start polishing and taking things away that you actually see that gleam. And so I feel like the decluttering process was exactly that. It was like helping me to get rid of the junk to actually see the shine. We all know that I'm a shiny ash. So I learned that as well. And then And I'm saying all this because I know a lot of you guys need to declutter something, whether it's your car or something. So I want to give you some inspiration. And also the biggest thing that I learned from this is that I can do it, and that I'm not a messy person. I think I had let that be my identity for so long. And when I went through this process and I saw the result, I realized that I wasn't a messy person. I'm like, that's not who you are. You're not that at all. You were just someone who needed help, but you weren't a messy person. And so that was amazing identity to release. I'm like, you really aren't. You enjoy cleanliness. You enjoy things being tidy. You enjoy things having a place. You're not a messy person. And I think that was a really amazing revelation, because I think I had taken that on and I felt like that was who I was. And I realized, for me to be able to do what I did and find so much peace from it, I realized that's not who I was. And I'm able now to release that. I thank myself for holding on to it for some time, because maybe it helped me get through certain moments, right? Like maybe it helped me deal with little moments of my life where I felt like I wasn't adequate enough. But I thanked it and now I released it. I'm like, yeah, that's actually not you. There's just going to be some times where you need to remember to polish the silver, to remember what you have. So anyway, that's what I want to share. Declutter and go for it. You learn so much from it. And also the spiritual shifts. When I say spiritual shifts, meaning that inner plane where I'm like, oh man, so much is being revealed. My dreams are clearer. My thoughts are clearer. My intuition is more on point. All that just from decluttering. Moving stuff around and taking a trip to the Goodwill and to the good old garbage can. All right? Have a great week, and I hope you get out there and do it. What have you decluttered, and what do you need to declutter? Let me know, and I want you to know that you can do it. All right.